So, hello, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Yeah, good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you, I think.
Nah, he's lying. He's doing shit because that's why we're here. Because life's shit.
Yeah, no, of course.
This is the best bit.
So, I drove past a learner driver the other day.
Oh, my condolences.
Yeah. And then I overtook him on a dual carriageway. Mm-hmm. Nice and legally and safe. And the name of the instructor, written on the side of his car, Skid Marks.
Give him all of the business.
Yeah. He would be the one I'd go with, to be honest.
Would you? No. Hear me out. Are you going to go to a learner driver guy, and his name is Skid Marks?
Yes.
That's not implying a lot of ability in his drive teachering.
Drive teachering.
I could listen. That's the best words I could think of.
But you see, I think you've misjudged my character because it's funny, therefore I'm there.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is absolutely hilarious, and I would do the exact same thing. So I'm just like, hey, Mark, Skid Marks,
Skiddy Mark.
Well, you know what's interesting is when we first started this podcast, I thought there can only be so many filthy stories in the world. At some point, the well will run dry. No. The well it's simply overflowing.
It gets deeper and deeper, and every time you think, okay, there's only so many times a scenario can happen, someone else sends it in again with their own little, let's be fair, usually beige twist on it.
Yeah, normally in Browntown.
All right.
Oh, what have we got?
Hello and welcome to The Thread of Gentlemen,
a podcast where we take a kamikaze dive into the best
and often worse tales the internet has to offer.
I'm Johnny.
I'm Ben.
I'm Charlie. And without any further ado,
I think we need to get this show started.
Every so often, we get a little bit of follow through.
Yes, more often than not.
More often than not. Especially in season 3, we've been getting a fair amount of follow through, including a story from a writer who wrote into us before. And his original story was called My Brother, and it was absolutely fucking brilliant. And I believe he has some more, doesn't he, Ben?
My brother. Continued.
It sounds like it's going to be some sort of Shakespearean prose. It won't be. I guarantee you. It's going to be some...
Scunthorpe, where we lay our scene. A turd on both your houses. So, this is by Jay.
Jay, back
Thank you for
again.
this one in, Jay. If you have stories you want to listen to, please send them in to stories@thethreadofgentleman.com.
Oh, he's good.
Like and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Get us in there.
We shit thee nay.
What? What was that?
That's some Shakespearean for your asses.
I love
That is my new favourite phrase. We shit thee nay. Fantastic.
I mean, it's better than the Mexican guy.
No, the senor. I love
And
the
it's
senor.
Better than the chimney sweep. So
Don't hate on the senor. The senor is resting in peace. Do not speak ill of the partially dead.
No, I'm very glad he's resting in peace.
No, because you know what? Actually, John and I have discussed on off camera. That there is a new character. He's been waiting to come out for some time, and he is he's Vinny.
Vinny, there's a 3-man podcast. There's no space for Vinny in this.
You know what? That's an insult. And Vinny, you know what he'd say to you? He'd say, "Go suck a fucking cock."
Go suck a cock.
You go get the nearest cock and you fucking suck that cock.
Yeah, suck that cock, you big jabroni.
Hey, suck a cock.
We're going from Shakespeare to some sort of Martin Scorsese type film. So I mean, that's just...
Hey,
But
Shakespeare, he sounds like a cocksucker.
I sent the first of the competition winning T-shirts out. By the way, for everyone who has won a T-shirt and received it, and then you sent us in a picture of you wearing it, you guys are fucking legends. We love to see them out and about.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Hey, much congratulations, you cocksuckers. The Brother by Jay. Continued.
Let's do it.
All right, gentlemen.
Hello there.
I am reading at this point, by the way.
All right, okay. I haven't got Alzheimer's. Who am I?
Damn cocksuckers.
Damn cocksuckers.
I recently sent in a few twisted tales about my beast of an older brother, and it was great to hear them on the podcast. He enjoyed them too.
We did.
We absolutely did. Thank you so much for sending it in.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. the thing about that is I'm only aware of the ones I was there for. After hearing the show, he shared one with me that I wasn't.
Fantastic.
Nice. I
The
love
show
this.
takes on a new form. It's
it
fantastic. The only thing is that I'm sorry. For a family name, I'd like to say this was a long time ago, but it wasn't. Wow, you're trying to protect them. It was 3 months ago tops.
Wow, okay.
Okay. My brother is up in London. Wow, time, location, names, the lot. They've just given us everything. My brother is up in London at a work social. And got absolutely obliterated. He was that guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
The one who's stumbling and falling about and being inappropriate, an HR nightmare. Now, well, every officer's got to have one. It's kind of like an HR thing. You have to have, because they use
Otherwise,
them.
they've got nothing to do.
Also, with my bad eyesight, I don't know what these hands are doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the excuse of, well, I was pissed. That doesn't stand up in court, does it?
We've all had a drink. It's fine.
No, I don't think you guys understand. I wasn't sober.
Yeah. Why did you drive through the orphanage? I was drunk.
What do you think?
You need to listen.
Yeah. What is he, a cocksucker?
Fucking, I'm sorry, I'm butchering this guy's story already because I'm a gag sucker. How many? Could we have a little tally chart of how many times I managed to say the cack suck in this episode?
18 already.
Get your fucking cock sucked.
20.
Balls and all. At the end of the night, he somehow finds himself on the tube. Nice. During this tube ride, 2 things happen that are perfect example of the weird shit that happens around him / involving him.
Okay.
Yeah, these people are always a magnet. They're the common denominator in all of the funky stories. Firstly, he swears blind, despite his drunken stupor, that a woman was asleep on the train with her mouth open and a shabby-looking, possibly homeless man leant over and sneezed directly into it.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, no. Oh, God. That's the fucking worst. Oh, for God, can you imagine?
Can you just, is anybody else here for a second? We're walking into this anecdote and we're just all thinking that the sexual assault is about to happen and you're just nothing possibly worse.
This is the thing. I'm relieved and mortified in equal measure.
Honestly.
It's so deliberate because you can't control your body when a sneeze is coming.
Honestly, that is one of the worst things I've heard on this podcast, and we are a year deep. Oh my God, that's the
fucking
worst.
Do you know the scariest thing about this is that's part 1. This is the fucking preamble.
But it sounds about right, doesn't it? It's Clapham Junction.
Honestly, faith in humanity fucking gone. Gone.
God damn it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right. I'm just.
God.
I can't help but picture it as well.
Imagine waking
Is anybody
up
else trying to think of that? How you do that? Do you kind of angle up and then down so it kind of basketballs into her mouth?
Oh, that's so gross.
I guess if she's asleep on the seat, he's just kind of leant over her like a trusty willow tree and just gone right into her fucking face.
You're a psychopath because the intent to complete that mission required fucking calmness.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like worse than a murderer in some regards because you're just I'm just gonna spread me. Impregnate mouth.
This is patient 0 of COVID.
Okay, so God, I don't want to read on now.
Yeah,
Do you know what he is?
Yeah,
Do you know
thanks for
what he
listening.
is? He's a cocksucker.
Oh no, he's fucking. This guy's worse than a gagsucker. The homeless man leant over and sneezed directly into the open mouth. This is. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna do it. The antidote has come. This is the sneeze equivalent of Pearl Harbor. You didn't declare war, and you just dropped your fucking chaos into the
I don't know how you got there, man. I can't. That's a real tenuous link.
Deep inside of her mouth is Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett desperately trying to survive. Dude, I picture it right now, just a green flag, and it's like the camera just follows it off of his tongue straight down into her mouth, into the set, just like the fucking film with the bomb. It's just... By the way, that is the only socially acceptable time to offer somebody napalm as mouthwash.
Yeah. That and at Barrymore's pool party.
I'm gonna give it you.
There it is.
I'm gonna give it you, but that's the one.
I'm gonna give it to you out of pity. You fucking cocksucker.
You fucking cocksucker. Hey, Vinny, with his fucking cocksucking. Vinny, by the way, likes to take shits completely naked, no matter where he's at. he just drops everything and then takes a big fat.
What are you, some kind of fuck?
Yeah. What am I, funny like a clown? Poop. So he says he got up and he sat further down the carriage as the woman woke the fuck up and wondered what had just happened. No shit. That's mental, he writes.
Jesus.
He says it sobered him up slightly. Fuck yeah. I've seen some strange shit whilst under the influence, but that would... I'd be able to drive a car after that.
Yeah, and operate heavy machinery.
Oh, yeah. To follow it up, my brother is in a bad way and sitting on those fold-down chairs meant for disabled people. Well, your brother, I think maybe he's probably qualified to sit in that chair.
Careful!
He's sitting in a fold-down chair and he knows he's on the main line to Chundertown, or the Technicolor yawn, as you put it.
Nice.
I've forgotten about that one.
Callback.
Oh, this guy is a listener. Fantastic.
Beautiful. So, rather than get off the tube, he just faces the window, opens his mouth, and chunders up against the side of the train and all down himself.
Thing is, there is that moment when you're sober and you know you're going to be sick and you just think, right, this is happening either way.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I accept it.
I'm pulling in at the next station. Like, there's no avoiding this.
You guys are totally right on this, but for me, it's cabs. The moment I'm in a cab, I'm like, ooh, I got 45 minutes of just the most focused mind I could ever have. And I am now on 3 times where I get to that certain point in London. I'm drunk, so I don't know where I am. I've opened the door. I shit the nay. I have opened the door of a cab 3 times and gone, oh, wow, Harrods again. There is a worker of Harrods who has had to clean off my fucking minestrone 3 times on a Monday goddamn morning or a Sunday morning.
Oh, that is fucking incredible. I bet you've got like a nickname like the Harrods Hurler.
Yeah,
he's back again.
They're just like, no, fuck, we've got him on camera, just me, just opening a car door. And it's just all down a window. I don't know why the fuck Harrods. It's always goddamn Harrods. And then the rest of the journey, I'm sat in the back of the cab going, I can't fucking do it. Right, so shall we go back to the fact this guy's like stuck his face against the sign, just so next to no retching apparently, just open mouth and waves of Guinness and patience
Fell out. We've been there.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the thing is, I've never been there, but I've witnessed it, and it's goddamn fucking hilarious when you just see somebody as a human dumpster truck.
It's just a tunnel of a man.
Yeah. It's just,
So there was a time I was at Download Festival, and festival was like the last day. Like everyone been pretty hard like the night before, and this guy Dave, he woke up and had like an orange for breakfast, and like trying to be healthy. So last day, he had about 2 hours sleep, but it's never going to work.
mate, an orange is not going to fucking balance out the sin that's
do you know what I mean?
All you're doing is adding acid to the situation.
Yeah. Somebody then opened a can of tuna. And like it just smelled too bad, so it's just like I'm going to be sick, so I can't have it. So then Dave ate it. He had this tuna and an orange, and he sat there for about 5 minutes, like pretty quiet. We didn't really kind of clock that he was quiet, but he was pretty quiet. And then there was no retching. He literally turned his face to the side, and this was the first and probably last time I've ever seen projectile vomiting. It flew 2 meters. Do you know, like dead silence, and all of a sudden just turned around and went woo, and like
Is this like the Little Britain style, like?
yeah, honestly, it was ridiculous. It was like it just kept coming out of the sky. It was
It's so funny watching the human body just completely reject whatever it is that is inside. It flipped up the little plastic thing and hit the red button, and it just goes.
Sorry, yeah, keep.
Oh, so anyway, next to no retching, just waves of Guinness and pastry. I love that. That's a very vivid, like that is, that's river
That's
water,
not
man.
Yeah, that's
brackish.
That's like the brown water that runs through Bristol. Just. So you already know my brother has no shame. Rather than get off the next stop like anybody else, he sits there idly thumbing the trunks into the ventilation slits of the cheap carriage. Whilst I imagine the other passengers watch on in horror. Too much has happened in this story, man. Just fuck this. Okay, I put it to our audience, more stories from them, but just more stories from that guy, please.
Yeah.
Not bad. That's not bad. That's revolting, but not bad. It's pretty good because there was no poo in it.
No poo.
I'm impressed.
Right, wicked. Well, Jay, thank you so much for sending that in, my man. That was fucking fantastic.
If you have stories you want to send in, send them in too. stories@thethreadofgentleman.com.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this one is called "How to Flush Floating Poop." In brackets, you don't. And we've had something similar to this on the podcast before, but this person takes it to a level that you should never take this to.
I'm willing to attempt to see whether there's truth behind a statement like that.
No, like I can't. I won't spoil it. We'll come back to this at the end, but honestly, never do this. This is the worst idea. Like, this is the worst idea.
Yeah, but do it because then stories.
Yeah, because then you can send it in to us.
Where would they send it to, by any chance?
stories@thethreadofgentleman.com.
Feels good every time. I get a little bit hard every time you do it.
Okay, a few weeks ago, I was on a run. I didn't know if you've ever heard of the running shits, but they're a real thing. A very real thing.
I've heard of the shits.
Yeah, I've been there. When you go for a run and then all of a sudden, like, you need to go.
What's running?
The body's in motion.
The only time that pooing and running happens for me is when I'm running to go poop.
There you go.
And I always make it. I always make it.
Well, we'll see what happened to this person. At the time, I was very adamant that I didn't want to defecate in a porta potty.
Don't do that.
And I was pretty certain I could make it home. Risky game, but fair play. Well, by the time I got home, I somehow didn't have to poop anymore. But I wasn't constipated. I was home for an hour and a half. I showered. I fiddled around with the computer. Still nothing. It happens.
Yeah.
I left my boyfriend's to get lunch, and the minute I got there, then I have to defecate.
This is where I was going to say, it happens to all of us. It happens to me at work, but I'm within yards of a shitter, so I know that I'm safe. But if it disappears, panic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like sometimes that's good. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes that's the body saying that, I can
suck a bit more of the nutrients out of this one.
No, well, this is my point, right? A poop that disappears is the Russians in World War II because they retreated. But boy, when they came back,
yeah, it's like you will still poo again at some point.
It's Stalingrad.
Oh yes, John, that was fantastic.
Oh God, I need a life.
This is your life now.
Oh, they made it all the way to Poolin.
You are I like that.
Not quite.
I'm just riffing,
It's a numbers game, man.
You're getting sent to the poo lag for that.
The Brown Army?
Okay, so we got to the restaurant and it was such a hole in the wall.
Stool in. I'm clutching at fucking straws here.
You don't need to.
It's all good. It's all good. Don't put the pressure on yourself, my man.
Yeah, what would Vincent do? You know?
Is it hot in here? I'm hot.
Can you imagine if you had like, obviously I don't want to wish this upon you, but like, say a massive coronary, and then they're like, right, what were you doing at the time? I was trying to think up World War II Russian poo related puns.
As you do. Often.
As you fucking do.
Why not? So yeah, we went to the restaurant and it was such a hole in the wall, I couldn't see a bathroom anywhere. I told myself, I can conquer this. People have overcome so much more dire circumstances.
No, they haven't.
That's a fair point. You know, sometimes like I can't hold in a poo. I know there's people in the world that go, like, if they need to go, they can just hold it.
Well, yeah, but to a point. But everybody eventually drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like my, when I'm on the scale, like it goes up. Do you know what I mean? Like I start off at a 1, it goes up to a 10 in half an hour.
Truly believe that there is a certain point of critical overload that even the strongest of souls, there is like it's almost like a little button, and it finds it and it goes, I'm really sorry to do this to you, man.
Yeah.
Gosh. And it's just like a system flush. I can't. Don't make me dig for another fucking genocide.
I'm gonna move on. So yeah, I told myself I can conquer this. People have overcome so much more dire circumstances. Plus, as the gnarliest of poops often are, I didn't know if it was going to shit myself 1 minute or walk off poop free into the sunset the next. So we got back to his house, and I had some time to kill before we went to school where I volunteered. So I went inside. Then I need to go to the bathroom. But I didn't have to poop. I just had to pee because I'd ordered my Thai food medium plus heat, and therefore I drank 4 glasses of water and a Thai tea. I went immediately. This poo is going, but like this is a yo-yo.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on? This is prairie dogging in and out.
This is coming and going. I went immediately for the bathroom, confident, because who cares? Even if even a woman pees. Then I sat down, and man, this wasn't just a pee. This was a poop that I couldn't clench away if my life depended on it.
Yeah, it's going Super Saiyan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's this is next level. I nearly hyperventilated, but then I thought, fuck you, patriarchy, women poop too. So I tried to poop in peace and pride. Well, maybe not pride, but at least not embarrassment. I stood up and flushed the toilet. I washed my hands. The confidence I felt just 15 seconds dissipated. Probably suffocated by the fumes of the stinky poo I just took.
Ooh, yeah, you poop your way through toxic masculinity. See how that works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I looked back down at the toilet before leaving the bathroom, and the water was just circulating. My poops like little boats being sucked into a whirlpool. Jesus, sweet Jesus, do I deserve this? I waited for the whirling to stop and flushed again. There it went. This is going to be fine, I thought to myself. So she's got floaters.
Yeah.
But then the whirling stopped for a second time and 1 poop remained. I realised that I really had no other option but to flush a third time or walk away. There's only poop.
Yeah.
Or, you fling it out a window. I'm sure you could build some sort of contraption like a sieve or a spoon.
She doesn't do that.
That usually goes wrong for our listeners, so I'm not going to advise that.
They don't open the fucking window.
Just go for the third flush, man. I mean, I get it. As a chick, it's different.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the right company, I'll give it a third flush, and I'll kind of come out and look at everyone and go, right?
So I wondered if you could hear my flushes from the living room.
Yeah.
So, you're in that kind of like bathroom off a living room, like the third flush is an awkward one. I had flashbacks to being a kid, my brother running out of a restaurant bathroom, announcing to my parents that he just had to double flush his poop. I remember the way people stared and the way my dad made fun of him. So yeah, you don't want to do that. The third flush completed, and this one single poop would not go down. I cursed the stars. I cursed 1960s plumbing. I cursed this world we inhabit, in which I could be best friends with my boyfriend, but not in a way that it was okay for me to tell him about the massive, shitty problem I had in there. If this sounds familiar, it probably is. Many of us have been there, unfortunately.
We've all been there, but we learn. And
Yeah,
the thing
we've
is,
been there.
you learn from these situations. And I create what I call a parachute.
That's, yes. Do you know what I mean? Like you bunch up some toilet roll, you just throw it on top and then just flush again.
Yeah, physics.
Exactly.
And when it doesn't work, you run.
You walk away. So then what I did, I would like to have believed I could make it through my entire life never doing. I took some toilet paper, reached into the toilet and pulled my
No, mistake.
No. Big mistake, don't do that. I pulled my own feces from my boyfriend's toilet. I wrapped it in more and more toilet paper, trying to conspire some exit strategy for myself, and that single shit. I looked in the mirror, breathed in deeply, sucked my stomach in, and stuffed this slightly wet toilet paper wrapped turd down my own pants.
What? What the fuck? How is that an option?
That's not a solution.
That's not a solution.
Now, okay, so, right. Let's just say that we put anybody in a scenario. We said, okay, we're giving you no choice. You have a toilet paper wrapped turd in your hands, okay? The option to put it back in the toilet is now no longer an option, okay? This is like SAS training. And there's multiple choice questions, okay? No one, even the lowest IQ, out of the options of put it in the bin, chuck it out the window, try to take it with you and dispose of it somewhere else, putting it in your own underwear isn't even one of the multiple choice answers.
No, you have to write that on the bottom of the sheet.
One of the worst options I've ever heard. I've got nothing. I don't know what to say to you.
Do you know the perfect solution to that problem? Because I've got it. Right.
Go.
You have got a kebab in your hand made of toilet roll and shit.
Yeah.
You can't flush again. I get what she's saying. I understand it. You go to the toilet. You take the top of the cistern off. You put it in there. You pop it back. Then you dump the fucker.
Because
you never have to see him again.
Now it's a prank. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Everybody loves.
The only worse option is eating it.
Which I'll be honest with you, when you were reading that, I kind of thought, when she's like, I sucked in my pride in my stomach, I was like, that is going in her gob.
Chomp.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is it's like that's worse, but darling, we're talking marginally.
yeah. Because at some point, that boyfriend, if he's bought her lunch and invited her back, he's going to want to get in them pants, and he's going to go, oh, what's that? She's going to have to say, oh, it's my time of the month or something.
Yeah.
So there is a part 2.
Oh my God! Right.
It's I'm going to sum it up with the first. I'm just going to do the first 3 paragraphs.
I don't think I'm ready for this.
I beelined for the front door, and it appeared that he was not in the living room after all. This is where you go back and go flush it. Sweet Grace. I could explain leaving without saying goodbye to him later, and I could spend the afternoon praying he didn't go to his bathroom any time in those following 20 minutes. Don't worry about the smell. You've got poo down your pants. My hand was on the doorknob when I heard him say, no kiss. I turned to see him walking towards me. Then before I could manipulate the situation, my boyfriend was kissing me whilst my own wet turd slowly soaked through half a roll of toilet paper and into my jeans. I pulled back and blurted, don't go in the bathroom. He looked at me, and before his expression could sear itself into my memory, I bolted out the front door.
I mean, you walked away.
You would listen. I would have.
But you didn't leave the hat. You took the hat
No,
with you.
they left the hat. This time they took the fucking turd with them.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what pisses me off about this chick? Is that we had a perfectly good metaphorical phrase for every single time that somebody doesn't leave a situation, right? And it was leave the fucking hat. Now I have to change it. Now that term has to change because of you. Because now I have to say, apparently I have to physically say, leave the turd
and that. That's honestly, it's one of the worst options I've ever. Like,
she
listen,
bypassed the hat and went straight for the brown. I don't think I've ever heard a story on this show up until now that genuinely stresses and horrifies me.
Listen, we've all panicked.
We've all panicked, but we haven't all fucking done that.
No, come on. We've all panicked. Do you know what I mean? We've all panicked. And, like, you're going to look back on that and just be like, wow, that was a mistake. Like, she shit her pants. Like, third party. Do you know what I mean? Like, she shit her pants, like, with extra steps. The poo came out of her pants and then she put it back in. So, this one was from Reddit. If you find a story on Reddit, send it to stories at the Thread of Gentlemen.
Yeah, do it.
I picked up a random at the bar. Things started to get hot and heavy, so we got a taxi back to mine. We were all over each other the whole way back. Nice, good, great start. So we're having sex. After a while, it sounds like she is getting close to orgasm. I smell this horrible smell. I thought to myself, she must have farted. Her moans are getting louder. I keep pounding away, trying to mentally block out the smell. A few minutes later, she begins to orgasm. The smell gets worse. I feel something mushing into my thigh. It can't be. I turn on the light, and this poor girl had shit everywhere.
Nutella.
It was all over my dick, all down my legs, all over my bed, everywhere. She tries to blame it on me, saying I shouldn't have fingered her ass on the way home. I told her to just get in the shower and don't worry about it. This part of the story probably the worst. I said I didn't get to finish and got her to give me a head job in the shower. I ended up coming in her mouth as the shit was still washing down the shower drain.
Oh, that is...
I don't want to be covered in Nutella.
Yeah, that is awful. That getting head while there's just shit around you in the shower, that might be up there with the guy wanking in the bin, just in terms of like, look at your life.
By the way, credit here, because there's a subtle little nod to just men in general here on this one, is that when the smell started to come in, you're like, I'll work through it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Don't say that we're not gentlemen.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Exactly. Oh man, that's fucking horrendous.
Yeah, that's
really bad. Really bad. I loved it. Thank you.
I didn't love that.
Okay, I've got a brilliant story here with quite a disturbing title. It's called From My Youth.
Okay.
But it's from Captain Cockstock, which is a fucking fantastic
That's
name.
a really good name.
Captain Cockstock?
Cockstack.
Cockstock and 2 loaded barrels. Let's fucking do this.
Was it Vincent?
Cockstock and 2 massive balls.
2 messy balls. These nuts.
Is the guy,
Oh, right.
Is he Vincent, this guy's name, or am I making it up?
Vinny.
Vinny, of course it is.
Vinny. Right, here we go.
These nuts.
These nuts. Vinny's hairy pair of testicles, eh?
Right, anyway, from my youth. I'm a big fan of the podcast, fellas. I was listening to early episodes of your show and it sparked a memory of something horrible that happened to me as a child.
This is dangerous territory there, John.
Right into the danger zone. I didn't realise it at the time, but as I get older, I realise how fucked it was. Okay, still not through the trees yet, gents.
Okay, go on.
I was on a school trip in the 90s.
Right.
We didn't have any of the safeguarding that kids and schools have in place now, and I'm not sure half my teachers were actually even teachers. Anyhow, the school trip was to some forest or some shit, and we all needed a toilet stop. Now, this is not going well, is it? Kids in the forest with
some shit.
Yeah. Now, as an adult, if I see a group of 30 kids milling in and out of a public toilet whilst uninterested guardians around the corner having a fag break, I'll wait until the group fucks off so I can have a piss in peace. Yeah, totally get that. If I see a group of school kids, I'm heading in the other direction.
1,000,000%.
So, I was there having a piss in the urinal. I'm not sure how old I was, but old enough to reach the porcelain. This old fucker limps in and goes right into the cubicle next to me. This is going badly.
This is weird.
The territory that we're moving into. Oh.
Yeah, like Operation U-Tree are definitely listening to this shit when they should be fucking on to Noel Edmonds. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Where did that come from?
I mean, you raise a good point. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's a very good point. Man, back in Salem, I would have been fucking great at this shit. Yeah, but look at him.
We got him. If they float or not, who gives a fuck? Get them in the river.
Yeah, exactly. So this old fucker limps in and goes right to the cubicle next to me. I guess the adults weren't watching. I will never forget what happened next. This is stressing me out a little bit. Okay, he's facing the urinal and he takes his beige-coloured trousers down, right to the ankles.
Oh, no.
Revealing an adult nappy.
Oh, what?
Okay. He then does a 180, peels the nappy down, and lays a horrendously sludgy shit right there in the urinal. He had an audience of about 15 kids who stood there with their mouths agape, me being one of them. Right, so I'm going to stop us there. That's horrible. However, slightly relieved that the story went there, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
That's horrible. So he's done a shit in the urinal whilst some kids were watching. He then pulls his nappy and trousers up, no wipe, and limps out like it was just another day. It's disgusting and inspiring in equal measure. Oh, God. After he left, we all pissed ourselves because it's fucked. I think about that every time I go into a public bathroom. But he's probably dead now, and I'm sure the urinals feel safer for it.
And rest in peace. Sorry.
Fucking hell, that's weird, isn't it?
Wow.
Why do we keep getting sent stories of people shitting in urinals?
That's a fucking weird situation that you will never forget. So this is a segment, gentlemen, of people who sent in stories from petrol stations.
Petrol stations.
Okay, this is going to be dangerous.
So from Chevy 1500. So working, I think at the time they were working a security job in a bad neighbourhood and pulled into a parking lot. And there was a guy who walked into the petrol station that he was at, minding his own business, with a cowboy hat, cowboy shoes, a thong, carrying around a raccoon.
What a fucking great Tuesday afternoon he's having.
He said it looked like he was feeding the raccoon something, and he locked his doors ASAP.
Cock, mainly.
Yeah, literally pushed down a little lock, and you go, I'm going to carry on watching, but safety.
There are strange people in the world, and yeah, I could see that happening.
This one's from Corduroy. A friend of mine worked nights in a convenience store / gas station by herself, and she told me about a time when a woman came in drenched in blood. When she asked,
this is the danger of night shifts in in a petrol station like that, because you are going to get weird people coming in. Because it's a light. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just it's somewhere that's open, and they're like, oh yeah. It's like moths to a fucking flame.
So a woman came over drenched in blood, and when asked, she said flatly, "Don't worry, it's not my blood." Bought a pack of cigarettes and fucked off.
Oh, wicked. Yeah, that's all my concerns answered. On your way.
You make sure the CCTV is running. You phone the police, but they're like, it's not mine, not my blood. I want a pack of cigarettes. Yeah, take them. I'll pay. See you later.
Yeah. Do you want a car?
Yeah. Just whatever it is.
Nearest town's that way. Yeah, go there.
I need a wet wipe? No, just the Marlboro Light's fine. This is from Cliff Doctor. I had a friend who worked at a gas station. He said someone came in one night and produced a gun and told my friend to empty the register. Being completely dumbfounded and slightly a moron by the situation, my friend told him that he had to buy something first.
Oh, salesman. I like that.
Fucking love it.
I was just like,
that's...
Are you fucking... Okay. So,
you a cocksucker?
You a fucking cocksucker. Give me the fucking... So he says, this is because to open the register, an item from the gas station needed to be scanned by the register. According to my friend, they stared at each other, completely silent and bewildered for a few seconds. After that, my friend had regained enough of his faculties to explain this to the robber. The robber then scanned Twix and took all the money in the register and left.
Do you take the Twix as well? Because that's a really good choice of snack.
Imagine if the guy politely just went beep, and then the robber just put it back in the box. Neatened it up.
That's fucking great, because that's full on accidental heroism, isn't it? It's not like, right, I'm going to win the situation by outwitting him. This is just like, I'm a moron.
Listen, Mr. Balaclava, I want to help you. Yeah. The way this works is a normal person would have just gone, I'm just grabbing that gum.
Yeah.
beep.
Yeah.
How much would you like?
Yeah.
What was everyone's favourite?
I think it's got to be.
Sneeze mouth.
That's where I'm going with
Just
that.
because of the level of revolting that
Yeah.
it's reached.
Yeah.
And it just...
I'm not sure it was my favourite, but it made me feel the most things at once.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting that. I didn't.
I don't know what it was I was feeling.
all of my
disgust.
guts went in and rolled in upon themselves at that story.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, gentlemen. Charlie, if there anybody else has any other stories, is there a place that they may or may not be able to?
You certainly can send them in to stories at thethreadofgentleman.com. But no, generally, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment. It'd be great to kind of see you guys' feedback. Send things on Instagram. Send things on Facebook, Twitter.
Thank you, you filthy cocksuckers.
And remember, our favourite story from each episode, and whatever wins the poll on Instagram, you will win a t-shirt.
And they're fucking amazing looking t-shirts as well. So
They are fantastic.
Fantastic. Right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, the
Muchas
best.
gracias.
let's go.
He returned from the dead. Ciao, ciao.